Hi there, I'm Ben Morton, and welcome to another episode of the Leaders Kitbag. It's the weekly micro edition of my podcast. Each episode is just 6 minutes long and is designed to provide you with tips, tools, and tactics around specific aspects of leadership and management. It addresses some of the most common challenges you will face as a leader or manager. They are all recorded unscripted whilst I'm out walking in the countryside, so you'll probably hear birds tweeting in the background or just ambient noise as the people around me are going about their day-to-day life. That's all I'm going to say by way of an introduction, so let's dive straight into this week's episode. Let me start today's episode of the Leaders Kitbag with a question for you. Do the people that you lead and manage feel as though they receive enough feedback about their performance from you as their leader or manager? Chances are 65% would like more feedback, which is the figure from a study I looked at recently. And another study suggests that 96% of employees feel that receiving regular feedback is a good thing. But the reality is, many of us as leaders and managers don't do it enough. And then we get stuck in a negative cycle. It's a bit like being stuck in a revolving door at an airport or an office block where we're working hard, but we're getting nowhere quickly. And the reason this happens is because we don't give much feedback to our people. Therefore, we don't feel particularly skilled in doing it. Therefore, when we do give the feedback, it feels a little bit awkward, or we're not sure if it's effective or not. So therefore, we log that as an uncomfortable experience and we try to avoid it in future, only giving feedback when we really have to and there's no choice about it. So in today's episode of the Leaders Kitbag, I want to help you get out of that revolving doorway and get on to the moving walkway that we get at the airport to fast track and accelerate your skills and ability around giving feedback. So we need to do it consistently. That is the simple truth of the matter. The more we give people feedback, the more comfortable we become in doing it and the more skilled we become. And the more we give feedback, the more comfortable those that we lead feel in receiving it. And again, the cold, hard truth of the matter is that failing to provide feedback really is failing to lead. And yes, I know it's a cliche, but feedback really is a gift to those people that work with and for us. And the reason I say failing to give feedback is failing to lead, because our job as a leader is to support, develop, and look after those that we lead so that they can deliver the results that we're accountable for. And if we're not providing them with regular feedback, they can't develop and grow and get better, and they can't deliver better and better results for our organization. And you could also look at it, there's a selfish payoff from giving feedback, right? Because the more we develop our people through providing effective feedback, the more independent and autonomous they can become. So they can deliver tasks, solve problems, get on and do stuff without having to come to us as much for the answers or to check in or for that reassurance. So yes, there is an investment to be made early on in providing more feedback. And yes, that is an investment of time, which means we're going to be busier for a little bit. But very quickly, we get that time back when our people don't need us quite so much. So we really have to just bite the bullet, get on and invest in giving people more feedback more consistently. And we start to get on that walking travelator where we can get to places much more quickly. And where do we start? we start with the small but high payoff tasks, the repetitive tasks, the ones where we might catch ourselves thinking, this is a really quick and easy job. It's easier if I just fix this myself rather than giving some feedback to my team. Yes, that might be true if it's a one-off task, but if it's a repetitive, recurring tasks, it's the biggest false economy ever, right? Because we're fixing that every week or every day. A personal example of this is I've got a relatively new personal assistant in the last 3 months. One of the things she helps me with is sending out my 2-weekly email that has the latest Leaders Kitbag episodes in, my latest podcast episodes and articles. If you're interested, you can check it out via the website, ben-morton.com. But I write it, Lucy loads it into MailChimp and does an initial kind of proof check and formatting and then sends me a test. And initially there was a few things in the formatting that weren't quite right and I fell into the trap of just fixing them myself. And then I realised, no, hang on. I need to pause here and give Lucy the feedback so she can do it effectively first time in the future, and that buys me time back. So really crudely, really simply, I just grabbed my phone, went on WhatsApp, filmed me fixing it, showing her what to do, sent it through to her after I'd sent an email saying, yeah, great job, Lucy, looks good. Just next time, just one thing to focus on. What I didn't do was give her the feedback sandwich. So that's the trick with feedback, folks. Just bite the bullet and do it. Start with the small, repetitive, recurring tasks where you'll quickly get a payoff. And all those little tasks soon add up and give you loads of time back in your diary. As always, hope it's been useful. Look after yourself and those that you've got the privilege and responsibility to lead. And until next time, lead on.